Topping the news tonight, the Port Authority releasing a statement in response to the government's demand letter of $357 million of services accrued. The port's statement strongly fighting back and the government not backing down. Tonight, the PLP chairman is telling the port to simply stay focused on the task at hand, and that is pay the money. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has tonight's top story.
According to the Grand Bahama Port Authority's press release, the port has been systematically handcuffed by central government policies and legislation over decades that prevented the Port Authority from being the one-stop shop that the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement intended and which other international freeport areas around the world enjoy. The statement also notes that as a result, the ease of doing business in the port area has been severely eroded, which has reduced its competitive advantage, and the continuing loss of opportunities for the Bahamas has been enormous. The port contends that the Freeport's tax contribution to the central government could have been much greater still if the government worked with the Port Authority rather than against it, the release noting that such a partnership would be magically transformative and benefit the Bahamas as a whole.
Right now, if they want to talk about investments, it's going to take $250 million to put that airport back together, which they walked away from. It's going to take another $200 million to build a new hospital, which they walked away from. So, I mean, let's not get into that. And tax revenue. This is about, they signed a deal in 1955 or the subsequent deals in 1960 to say that they would reimburse the government for the services provided by the government to the city. It's a simple question. It's not complicated. Either that is a provision in the act or it's not. Next question is, if it is, and it is, what is the amount owed? The government has provided an invoice. You either say, well, this doesn't look right or this doesn't look right, but we know it can't be zero.
Now, many residents have questioned what happens to the funds should the government collect the $357 million from the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
The Hawkesbury Creek Agreement says that the government should be reimbursed for expenses on services provided by the government. Services provided for the government are paid out of one fund. There's not a separate fund. I have no doubt that Grand Bahama and Freeport will have its share.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.